Hello friends, welcome back to War 7 of Season 7. We're ranked 96th in Gold 1 at the moment. Today we'll be taking on FsnTP, which somehow translates to Awesome Mix Volume 1. I'm not really sure how that works. Going in with my standard team, my standard Kingpin team, with Ghost Rider filling in the third spot. Let's get right to it. So first off, we have a duped Cosmic Champ on the Poison, Bleed, Limber, Poison Immune, Bleed Immune, Limber node. And it's Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, a champ that I really don't get to fight that often, especially in War. Really not much to her. Her specials are very easy to dodge, only one dex back each. But if she hits you, she does hit like a tank, especially at, this looks like an R3 only, but and the more energy or power she has, the higher damage she's going to do. So it is important to make sure that she uses her specials, just in case you make a mistake and get hit. It won't do as much damage. So this one goes out really without a problem. I thought that S1 was going to kill her, but I had to bait one more special one, go back in, and take her down. Next up we have a Mystic Champ on Optimist Recovery Limber. Was figuring this one was somebody with healing. It's not a Mephisto. It turns out it's a Dr. Voodoo unduped. So he gets that healing at the start, but again, this looks like only an R3 Voodoo, and I have class advantage, so the regen is really doing nothing, and I get a Petrify up right away. So what little was left of that regen buff was, mostly negated. So just letting the degen kill him here, not even going to bother with another parry, and down he goes. Alrighty, moving quite along. We have, oh, what is this? A Kingpin on the Buffet mini-boss node? No way. Alright, so I'm turning on just a little boost here just to do these next 3 fights before bedtime. You see I have an extra one on hand, so figure I might as well just use it. So strategy is the same. When I parry him, I have to be a little careful, maybe wait like an extra half a second, quarter of a second, just to make sure that he's not going to eat that parry stun and turn it into a rage stack for himself. So there is a kind of a fine line between waiting too long, because most of these opponents, run limber. So if you wait too long, you're going to go in and get parried, or they're going to just counterattack and intercept your attack. So there is a very fine line with a champ like Kingpin or a champ like Agent Venom, who can also eat those parries. So it seems to happen less frequently of late with Kingpin. This one goes down pretty easily. I must have critted a little bit more than usual, but either way. Alright, next up is a Science Champ. I really didn't know what to expect here on an armor node. I usually expect some sort of evade champ, but it is an Ant-Man. So another diversity play here. Now, similar to the Ant-Man in Labyrinth, although this one does not have a high sig, so it's not glancing everything. You want to get those guaranteed bleeds off with the S1. So you can see I'm not even bothering to save up for an S2. Just launching that S1, getting those bleeds off, which is then feeding my power meter. Because bleeds are guaranteed, the glancing doesn't affect them. So just 3 S1s, and between that and the bleeds, Ant-Man goes down. Alright, next up is a good one. So this is a 565 Killmonger on the Recovery Arc Overload node. And I pretty much have to go in with Void, despite the class disadvantage. So, and I have to be wary here that when my debuffs get placed on him, you can see he generates power very quickly because of his abilities. When you put a debuff on him, he gains a certain amount of power from those. So between my parry stuns and the debuffs that I'm placing on him, he's going to be gaining more power than I would expect in a normal fight. I do mistime the S1 there. I get tagged. No big deal. It took about, 17-18% of my health. Not a problem. I prefer to dodge his S2 where possible, although I am pretty comfortable with his S1. This specific Killmonger is a low sig, so you can see he's not really doing that much reverb damage to me. And I also benefit from Void specials being partially non-contact, which also helps. So got Fear of the Void up right away, so the Arc Overload node has been nixed, and I get a Petrify up immediately after, so the regen Arc Overload is now damaging him. Feeling very confident at this point. Just a matter of continuously psyching, keeping one eye on his power meter at all times. Because if you're not careful and you don't manage that power between the stuns and the debuffs, you could easily push him to an S3. I also don't want to attack into his block to force a special because he's got those, what are those, counterpunch, unstoppable charges, so those are very punishing. And down he goes. So all in all, a pretty good fight. Took that one S1 at the start, but I came out the victor nonetheless. So to wrap things up today, I have a 6-star Iron Man Infinity War on Recovery Strike Back. So he's not duped, so he doesn't have that irritating power gain once he hits 15%. Excuse me. Other than that, Void is a very good matchup for this guy. You just got to watch the armor up passives and get very good at dodging those 2 blasts from his S1. I can't remember specifically if okay, so I do launch a special one to give him a bar of power when he's low. Both specials are pretty much the same. You're either dodging the energy blasts or the missile barrage, and neither of them you can punish anyway. So if I pushed him over 2 bars of power, it's really not that big of a deal. Got a Petrify up now, so I can safely attack into him with a special. Second Petrify's up, so now that the fight is pretty much under control, I can play as normally. I don't think I get very many parries off on him, or parry stuns, that is. So it's really just a matter of I'm comfortable taking the block damage and waiting out the full heavy attack rather than doing a heavy intercept of my own, because a 5-hit combo will do more damage anyway. But I probably wouldn't do that if he was at 2 or even 3 stacks of the molecular armor, because then he would parry. So he is, fight's going pretty well. Got another Petrify up on top of the Fear of the Void, but I don't think it matters at this point. He has no healing abilities. He's not going to have power gain at 15%. So from here, it's really just a matter of not dying, which you can easily if you mistime one of those S1s and you get one of his shocks on you. That can do a significant chunk of damage. So fight is just about over. 6 debuffs plus Fear of the Void, trying to get him down before up, and the second Fear of the Void kicks in. So one more 5-hit combo, and he's still got 1%. I take hits at the end because I thought he was just going to go down, and I took my finger off the control, but he goes down. Pretty good war overall. So this war was probably one of the closest wars I've ever been in playing this game. So we came out with 16 exact defender kills on each side, and it came down to diversity. We won by 2 diversity points, which translates to 50 or 60 real score points or whatever they're called. So we did take the victory barely. Shout out to FsnTP, very good alliance, very good matchup, and shout out for putting some different champs on my path than I'm used to, other than that Kingpin. It was cool to face the Killmonger, cool to face the Iron Man. So until next time, thanks for watching.